Hey, good morning. Welcome on into your Monday. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Evan Thomason here in the Weather Center. Last work week was completely dry. That is not going to be the same as this week. We're expected to bring in chances for storms into the Arklatex here later on into the work week. At least today here for your Monday, all of us are completely dry. So don't worry about bringing out the umbrella on the way out the door here, at least to start off the week on a very warm note. Once we get into the middle of this week, that's when we start to bring in storms for some of the Arklatex, but I will say not everybody. In fact, I do think from the system that's going to hit us in the middle of this week, some of us are going to get more storms from that system more than others. We'll have more details on that in just a little bit. Meanwhile, this coming weekend, if you have any plans, they're not looking good. Unfortunately, we have storms targeting both days of the weekend ahead. So let's look at our next two weather makers. Essentially, we're tracking onto two different systems of storms over the next 7 days. The first of which comes in mainly for Wednesday and Thursday, mainly between Wednesday night and Thursday morning at this time and place. Now we're starting to get a lot more clear-cut details as to what this system is bringing us. It's mostly giving us storms to the north and west sides of the Arklatex, and less storm coverage across the south and east corner, more towards Natchitoches. Severe weather is definitely possible, but don't expect too much of a temperature change after this comes on through. So here's how it looks on our future track. Again, Monday and Tuesday, you're still getting a good amount of cloud cover in the skies, but we should maintain mostly dry conditions, if anything, maybe a little light drizzle in for Tuesday. And I think the same can be said during the day on Wednesday. If you look during the day on Wednesday, it's still a good amount of cloud cover, maybe even a light drizzle, but we hold out on most of the strong storm coverage until we get way late on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You're watching out for these storms rolling into the northwest corner of the Arklatex, almost into the overnight hours between Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday during the day, again, should be mostly fine. But we're watching out for the storms mainly hitting, again, the north and west corners of the Arklatex. So from this system alone that hits us Wednesday and Thursday, there is still a chance of storms that you see there from Shreveport down to Natchitoches, but they're only expected to get maybe just a quarter of an inch. Meanwhile, just from that system alone for areas of the I-30 corridor, you could get up to 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall. Good, substantial, and healthy doses of rain around there. But don't worry, Shreveport and Natchitoches, the second system will definitely be hitting the entire region. We're expected to have more widespread storms from the second system that comes on through. Yes, that's going to be coming through in for the weekend. And we actually do have a cool down coming through with this as well, which should happen and which should drop highs into Sunday and into early next week. So here's the rainfall potential that now includes both the system in the middle of the week and the system for the weekend. You see a lot greater rain totals, especially 2 to 3 inches showing up in spots in Natchitoches and Shreveport, and most of that's going to come from, again, these storms that happen on Saturday and Sunday. Here's the full 7-day forecast. So locally in Shreveport, just a 30% chance of rain, again, there between late Wednesday into early Thursday. Besides that, you're looking at a little light drizzle possible on Tuesday and Friday on a mostly dry and mostly warm work week, but definitely not completely dry. Once you get into the weekend, though, that's when we have storms definitely coming. 60% chance of storms. As of right now, for both Saturday and Sunday, can't really clear-cut which day is going to contain the bulk of the showers and storms. We'll have to see closer to the time frame to see exactly how that system's going to unfold. But notice the drop in temperatures finally into the 70s, especially a high of 72 in store for Sunday.